Fans First Sports Network listeners and football fans, welcome to another episode of the Call Sheet Breakdowns. This is Kevin Smith doing one play from each of the NFL Wild Card games from last weekend, and today we look at the one play that helped define the Buffalo Bills' 31-17 victory over the Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers fans, if you want an extended look at this game, I'll be doing a 3 reasons why the Steelers lost the wild card game in Buffalo video coming out in the next few days on our FFSN YouTube channel. But for now, one play that defined Buffalo's victory. And the play we're going to look at is the interception the Steelers threw deep in Buffalo territory while trailing 14-0. That pretty much cemented their defeat up in the frozen tundra of Buffalo. So let's get to it. Okay, so the Steelers are trailing 14-0 at this point. We're midway through the second quarter. Pittsburgh really hasn't done anything on offense until this drive. But this has been an excellent drive. They take over inside their own 10-yard line. They move the football 88 yards until they face a 2nd and goal at Buffalo's 4-yard line, where they come out in an empty formation. 2 receivers split to the left of quarterback Mason Rudolph, 3 receivers split to the right. And now, I got to say this. As a football coach, I'm very respectful of the abilities of any coach that's made it to the NFL level. They're all tremendous coaches, but that doesn't absolve them of criticism. And here, in particular, you're going to see the Steelers devise a route concept that is so vanilla, so unchallenging to the Buffalo defense, so nonsensical for this particular situation that I strain to understand why this was the best play call they could have come up with in this moment. So again, Pittsburgh in a 5-wide configuration. And here's what they're going to run. They're going to run 3 inside hitches with their 3 inside receivers. So basically, here's Allen Robinson. He's going to run across the goal line and turn around. Pat Freiermuth is going to run across the goal line and turn around. George Pickens is going to run across the goal line and turn around. And on the outside, Najee Harris, who's split wide, is just going to run a little bit of an out cut. And then Deontay Johnson, who's pretty much pinned into the boundary by his alignment, is going to do the same. He's going to run about 4 yards deep into the end zone and then just a little out cut. If you look at those routes, just the diagrams of those routes, they present almost no challenge whatsoever for the Buffalo defense. There's nothing interesting going on here and nothing that stresses Buffalo in any way, shape, or form. And the result, as you can imagine, is going to be predictable. Snap, 5 little hitches. Rudolph tries to fit that throw up into the top corner to Johnson, and he can't get it done. Here it is again. You're going to see Mason Rudolph. He's going to miss inside. It's a bad throw by Rudolph. He misses inside. That throw needed to be outside or nothing. But again, the route concept by the Steelers is so unimaginative, so vanilla, that Buffalo is unchallenged and can feel very comfortable sitting on these routes. From this configuration that Pittsburgh's in, there's an awful lot of creative and imaginative stuff that you can do here, right? You can take mesh, for example, which is a route that the Steelers love to run. You can run mesh here out of this look with, just to give you some examples as to how you might do it. Pat Freiermuth on a little wheel. Here are your crossers in the middle of the field. Post on the backside, OTB route here. That's the mesh design. The Steelers have run mesh dozens and dozens of times this year. It's a staple of their passing game. That's a tough route on the defense. Look at all the crossing. Look at all the communication the defense has to do. But obviously, they don't get into mesh. You can motion out of this. You can motion to an unbalanced set. You motion George Pickens across, and now we got some nice little routes we can run here to provide some obstruction, just little pick routes against man-to-man. The Steelers are getting man-to-man coverage here. Now if Buffalo correspondingly, let's say the Bills choose to run with that motion, they bring their defender all the way across, you clear it out up here for Deontay Johnson to go one-on-one with that little slant route. You can motion back the other way. There's, a million different things that you can do, right? If we motion back the other way, maybe we get Pat Freiermuth to run the motion here and you run a similar concept. The screen's there for Freiermuth. You work him out to the flat. Buffalo's got to bump all that coverage. And meanwhile, on the backside, you're running some kind of a wheel fade. Again, look at the stress that is providing on the Buffalo defense. But what Pittsburgh chooses to do with just this unbelievably vanilla concept provides no stress whatsoever on Buffalo, and it allows the Bills to double team some routes and to sit on Mason Rudolph's eyes and jump the throw. Again, bad throw by Rudolph, but even worse concept by the Steelers. If we look at it from this angle, it's especially frustrating too because Pittsburgh gets really good protection. Look at the pocket that Rudolph has to work with here. This is good. He's pretty comfortable standing back here in a clean pocket. And again, it makes it more frustrating when you realize it wasn't a good throw by Rudolph and he had lots of time and a clean pocket to release from. He should have been able to put that throw on the money. But you look at the route combinations. Here's Freiermuth down here. He's double teamed. As we play this, you're going to see Pickens. Right, I'll play it through one more time. Watch Pickens. You'll see him appear in the frame. Right, here's Pickens. He's double teamed right here. There's nowhere to go with the football except the difficult outside throw to Johnson. And Johnson, again, by alignment, he's running an outcut into a boundary he's lined up, practically pinned up against. There's almost no room for Rudolph to fit in that throw. So again, man, bad play design by the Steelers yields a bad result. It would be unfair to say Pittsburgh lost that football game as opposed to saying Buffalo won it. The Bills played better. They were more aggressive. They had a good game plan. Josh Allen made big plays. He was the best player on the field. But Pittsburgh certainly didn't help with a conservative game plan that underscored many of the problems they had all season long. Pittsburgh simply wasn't creative enough on offense. They weren't aggressive enough. They didn't get good enough quarterback play when they needed it. These are all issues the Steelers will have to solve in their offseason. As for the Bills, they now ramp up for what could be the game of the year in the AFC as the Kansas City Chiefs come to town for what should be a tremendous divisional showdown between Patrick Mahomes and company versus Josh Allen and company. So we'll have a great breakdown of that for you next week. All right, up next, another team whose season ended in disappointing fashion, the Philadelphia Eagles. We'll look at their loss in Tampa Bay on the final of our call sheet breakdowns from Wild Card Weekend. Take care, everybody.